Good evening, everybody. Welcome in to another edition of the Believe in Monsters podcast right here on the Believe Network. I'm Joe Gaither hanging out with Chris Krogman and Lucas Berry. It's been a minute since I've been on this show. I cannot wait to find out from my friends Luke and Chris what they've been up to, but we are in the middle of our summer plans. Well, I know training camp is set to get open, I believe, on July 26th. We cannot wait for the Bears to get rolling. Darnell Mooney with a headline earlier in the week says, "Get ready, Bears fans. We're about to win." So we'll talk about that tonight. We'll also get into positional previews. We've been talking about camp battles so far. I know my man Chris and Luke hit on some about 2 weeks ago. We did take 4th of July off. We hope you celebrated responsibly. America's birthday. We appreciate everybody tuning in and getting back to us this week. So we're going to do offensive and defensive lines training camp battles this week, and we're going to see who is going to be moving the trenches up there up front for the Chicago Bears. But before we get into that, let me check in with all of my friends. You can follow my friend Chris Krogman at ShyBears1985 and follow Lucas Berry at LBerry_40. The podcast, of course, is the Believe in Monsters podcast. You can follow us at BIM_pod on the Twitter machine and, of course, on the YouTube. Chris Krogman, it's been 2 weeks. How you doing, sir?
Wonderful, Joe. That was a great introduction there, buddy. You can tell you're having a daily show outside the network. So yeah, you're just spitting game over there.
We're getting better at the podcast game or at the visual game now that I'm doing it every single day. So yeah, it was thanks so much.
Well, you're looking quite handsome. So my last couple of weeks have been great. 4th of July was fun. Fireworks in Denver are technically illegal, but Wyoming doesn't care. They'll sell them to us anyway, so they go up there and get them and bring them back, and then my entire neighborhood blows a lot of shit up. So that was fun. Walked around with the kids, hung out with a neighbor in their backyard for about a half an hour, and watched them spend about $1,200 on fireworks.
One question: did everybody keep every digit? All fingers and toes are still intact in the Krogman household?
No, I'm missing one.
Is that a Super Bowl ring?
Many of them. I got 3. No, everybody's good. So I was telling my wife after, I'm like, yeah, we should go up to Wyoming next year and buy some. She's like, no, that'll never happen. I'm like, why? She's like, I don't want an accident to happen. I'm like, an accident could happen whether or not we're there or not. So we might as well teach them fireworks responsibility while we're able to. So one of the neighbors did give my kids some like little black cat poppers. So we got back to the house. I told them they could each light one off. So, I lit mine off to show them how to do it. Threw it in the middle of the street, pop, pop, pop. So then the 7-year-old goes to do it. He lights it up. He throws it, and it doesn't want to just spins in the air. It doesn't go forward. It just does a spin essentially and lands on our driveway 2 feet from it. So he just runs the other way. And I'm like, dude, you saw the first one go off. It's not going to hit us in the face. Just you're fine. And so pop, pop, pop. And then 5-year-old threw his perfectly in the middle of the street. So it's good times. Lucas, what'd you blow up on the 4th?
Nothing, man. It was raining all last week. They did have fireworks, but it was just a miserable day to be outside, unfortunately. I did see him from my window though, which was nice. And the holiday was
Alabama,
nice.
Were you? It was raining here too.
Dude, it was raining here too. It stopped right at 6:00. It stopped finally.
Our downtown fireworks display was canceled.
I don't know if you guys saw in the news at all. I don't really watch the news that much, but up in Vermont, which is near me, the parts of the road are literally coming off because it's flooding so bad. Parts of the street are literally just being carried away, and then there's just a gaping hole with rushing water underneath. So, yeah,
shit's man.
crazy in New England right now.
They say,
but it's weird.
But it's just Jesus coming back.
It hasn't been hot, but it's been wet.
Dude, it is flipping ridiculous now. So I told you, Lucas, it rained all June, right?
Yeah.
And now we skipped over 75 to 80 and nice, straight to 95, 100. It is brutal hot today, yesterday, tomorrow. It's just great. But I work in my basement, so it's cool. It's all good.
You go crank that AC and get to work.
I don't even need to, dude. It's so cold in the basement. But
Really? Just without
oh,
that?
dude, like I mean, we have the AC on because if you don't upstairs, it'll be stupid hot. So, but then the basement just gets really, really cold, which is fine. Joe, did you blow some stuff up?
I did not. I am not really a fireworks. Once you see one display, you've seen them all. Is kind of how I feel about the fireworks. Actually, here's my real. That's part of it. And secondly, fireworks are supposed to be for families and romance and couples, and it's not really part of my life right now. So it's all good. It's no problem. I did not feel like I missed one bit. So don't look at me like, oh my gosh, he's missing out. It's totally fine. No problem. I see fireworks at Bryant-Denny Stadium when you score touchdowns. I mean, you see it everywhere. It's not special.
Yeah, so for me, it's not necessarily the display or like the actual colors and things like that. It's everything with it, like the sounds, the smell, the feel. Like when you can feel a big firework boom and hit your chest, that's fun. And I would honestly never equate it to romance or families. Yes. I think my number one equation for fireworks is still Sandlot, because that was a great movie growing up, and it was the only night of the year they could play night baseballs when it was 4th of July fireworks going off. But let's get into this football because it ain't baseball season. We are getting close to Bears football. Close to what?
It is baseball season, but
2 months
no one
away.
cares.
No, it's not baseball season, Lucas. It's technically the All-Star break, which doesn't really count. For the first time in like years, I did not watch the Home Run Derby, mostly because I didn't know when the hell it was on, so I just skipped all that shit. But yeah, 2 months away from opening day, essentially. So
we're starting training camp in 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Right. But real, yeah, exciting stuff.
And Chris and I dove in, last episode before our break. We dove into the fantasy football players, as Chris likes to call them, which I think is hilarious. But we touched on quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end. And now today we're going to talk about the big fat guys who get none of the praise except for us on BIM who love linemen.
Joe, before we jump into that, let's get your I think we said wide receiver you're most excited about outside of DJ Moore.
All right. Obviously, DJ Moore is the obvious choice. I'm Chase Claypool. You're in my fucking doghouse right now, even though you looked ripped in social media. Stupid Velus Jones. Darnell Mooney is the easy answer, but like I don't like taking the. I'll go with Cole Kmet. Can I go off the board? Cole Kmet. No, Darnell Mooney. But I don't know. Last year made me a little, what is it, bullish on Darnell Mooney? Where bull is down, bear is up.
Bear.
Right?
No, opposite.
Bears. Yeah, because obviously he didn't have a great year last year, and there was many factors working against him.
He was played out of position.
Sure. And so maybe it's my football ignorance not knowing how that's going to.
Already?
DJ Moore. Whoa! I mean,
he's gonna what? DJ Moore?
Oh, I missed that.
Joe, you froze and you said he's gonna. And then it just came back and said DJ Moore.
No. Well, I'm not real sure how he's going to fit in as wide receiver too, because DJ Moore is obviously now going to be taking over that role. Will Darnell Mooney's production return to kind of that rookie level when obviously he had bum ass Allen Robinson out there taking coverage away from him? DJ Moore, not bum ass, but hopefully that can spring Darnell Mooney into having a resurgence. So that's the obvious answer. But I'm not really excited about any receiver outside of DJ Moore and Cole Kmet.
So Lucas said Tyler Scott, and I actually said Velus Jones.
All right, talk to me. What do you see in Velus that because
can I say something funny about this real quick?
Please.
So I don't have cable, right? So I don't watch like ESPN or any of that. But the other day, I think it was on the 4th of July, actually, Katie and I went out and got lunch. And they had the Bears on ESPN, and they were just playing an endless loop of highlights of Velus Jones. It was like, will the Bears be in contention in the North? And it was just like Velus Jones. It was the most random thing I've ever seen. But that is the one dude on the team they showcased like the one time I was watching TV. And I thought that was absolutely hilarious.
So Chris, what makes you excited about him?
So, I mean, kind of the same things you're talking about. He's being pushed down the depth chart, so he's not there's not that, oh, he's a third rounder, he needed to produce, blah, blah, blah. So everybody gets bumped down. Essentially, everybody's talent level goes up. So now I think he can just be worked in as the gadget piece that they see him as until he's more integrated. Plus, I was very encouraged by the end of his season last year. He had some nice deep balls and some nice runs after the catch. That touchdown down the sideline where Kmet was blocking in front of him, and he just ran into the end zone was awesome. And then what was our other one, Lucas? Was it something to do with the running backs?
I think we might have talked about which running back.
Does any running back break 800 or something like that?
Yeah. And we were also talking about which running back, if there was someone in that room that could potentially be cut. And I know I had mentioned Homer, and Chris said it was unlikely.
That's right.
Yeah, don't we see Tristan Ebner being cut? He's still on the roster.
So that still puts you at 4 running backs and a fullback. That's a big room.
So I think they'll only, I don't know. It's tough. I just think Homer could be a dark horse cut candidate if they think.
So I think they will keep the 5 as well, Joe. But I can't see them paying Homer and then ditching him. It was like 2 years, $4.5 million or something. Like, I don't know. I just don't see it happening. Like, it's a little different than Dante Pettis, which only got $1 million and could easily be cut.
Yeah, I mean, it really comes down to health too. I mean, unfortunately, I really don't think all 3 of their main backs are going to be healthy all year. So,
right,
having that other guy in there it's just tough when you carry a fullback because it does feel like an extra player kind of. But we do like Blasingame here.
Yeah, and we've talked about having a fullback before. Stupid Matt Nagy went back and forth about getting one or not having one. I think, what we want to do on offense under Getsy works better with a true fullback and not like a move tight end.
Well, depends on the move tight end you got.
Oh, that was the other thing we were talking about, the third tight end behind Tanyan and
because we didn't know who the hell they were.
But we didn't know who they were.
Jake Tongus, Chase Allen, and Steven Carlson. We don't know.
Yeah. I just know Chase Allen's a really good blocker, so I chose him.
What is Jake Tongus' like? All right, Jake Tongus is from Cal. He's free agent. He's practice squatter for the Bears for a year and change.
Who's
nothing.
Dude, I feel like
light
he got
Hunter
Hurst
a few games.
Was it Chase Allen? That's the Hunter Hurst light.
Oh yeah, I think it is. He has like
straight red long hair.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's
Iowa
probably
State.
the guy.
All right, there we go.
Oh, even better, he's a Cyclone.
So have you guys been doing them puzzles that I send you? Well, Hayden Hurst was an answer today.
You only sent us the one.
Oh shit, he is the Falcons guy. Yep, that I couldn't think of that one.
There was one on there that completely stumped me. It was a Steelers player who also played for the Packers. Did you guys know John Kuhn played for the Steelers?
No.
That was the answer. And like my brother knew because he was a Steelers fan, and I was just like, I had no clue John Kuhn was.
Who was the Steelers MVP?
Santonio Holmes.
That's what I thought. So then the Ohio State question fucked me because I was like, I don't know another
Shazier or Haskins or Hayward.
Okay.
I used Haskins, but
yeah. See, I don't know anyone. I don't know college football for shit, dude.
I had to think about it for a while. I used Okuda for the Falcons one. He hasn't even played a game for them. It was like a Falcon that went to Ohio State.
But it worked?
It worked, yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, we're getting off topic.
All right, way off topic. Let's get into these. Let's get into these fat, ugly gentlemen because there was a picture posted on the Twitter machine of all the defensive linemen deep down in the heart of Texas working out hard and being sweaty and ugly, and at least Billings had his T-shirt on. Yeah, that you didn't. But where do you guys want to start?
I haven't seen this picture. Who?
What? Who? Let's see here.
It sounds like you want to start on the defensive side if we're talking about Andrew Billings without a shirt on.
Yeah. You had me hot and sweaty. Tell you what. Very excited. No.
All right. Well, I guess the first question is, are the Bears going to sign someone in the next 14 days? We all think yes, but I mean, there's still good edge rushers out there too.
Yeah, Ngakwe's still there, right? So is it just Ngakoue doesn't want to do training camp? Is that it?
I don't think any of the vets want to do training camp.
So you're just waiting 3.5 weeks to sign somebody and hope that they're going to be game ready week 1?
They said I thought I read somewhere that Poles said they are in discussions with some defensive linemen or something like that. Or
was that recent? I feel like I heard that weeks ago and then nothing.
Dude,
happened.
Bro, I don't know. It could be.
I guess the question is, will they sign anyone in the next 14 days?
You have to.
You have to.
Your latest your latest news drops on Ryan Poles is from end of May. End of May, Bears in no rush to upgrade defensive line. Chicago Sun-Times. And now you got 5 days ago, Shy City Sports puts out a 24 mock draft. And so you're not having – no, Poles hasn't said anything in the last handful of days. But you have to sign – you have to – I mean, how much cap space – you still have, $20 million in cap, don't you? For the coming year. Like, you're still way loaded. Yeah. I was trying to be conservative. I mean, Chicago, but ultimately, nobody that you're going to sign is going to eat up the cap that bad, anyways. You're just playing a 1 or a 2 year deal.
What do you think, Chris? How do you feel about this? Are they going to sign someone? Do you think they will?
Yes.
Yes, it happens in the next 14 days.
Yes. 14 days.
Well, that's when Joe's saying camp. The training
26
camp starts.
No. I know. I'm saying. I guess if that equates to whenever they signed Riley Reef last year, then yes. If not, then no.
We need to Google it. I don't know. I'm pretty sure they signed Riley Reef like 2 or 3 days before training camp started.
Another defensive line thing that was posted on Twitter was Gervon Dexter running his ass off on the treadmill at like full speed, pulling, like there was something strapped to his waist too. Like he was pulling against something, like a spring or something like that. That looked intense.
I am having a much better feeling about that guy.
He's hungry.
He is. He's a hard worker, and he's a big man. I mean, it almost kind of, not that Akeem Hicks was like bad before he came to the Bears, but like in a similar vein, like if you can harness how big you are on the D line, like I don't know, you can just grow into like an insane monster in the league. We see Hicks
had such that phone booth quickness too. Like he just got off the ball well, used his hands well, and was in the play immediately.
Yeah.
Luke, let me close the loop for you real quick. Last year, the Bears signed Riley Reef on July 26th.
Bang!
Okay. That's the day training camp starts this year. I think it started on the 29th or something last year, so whatever.
They will sign Ngakoue on the 26th.
Is that your prediction?
Yep.
Hey, we love it. I'm game with that.
That'd be cool. I'm trying to find the Bears 2022 depth chart so we can see how many guys they kept on the D-line, because I don't know what's normal. But, I mean, if we go through the list here, there are some, I guess, fairly obvious names we think will definitely be on the team.
It's typically 8. It can be 9.
All right, typically 8. So, DeMarcus Walker, I think he's definitely here. Rasheem Green, most likely here. Andrew Billings, Zach Pickens, Gervon Dexter, Justin Jones, Travis Gibson, Dominique Robinson. Right there is 8. 9 if they add someone else.
Yep.
I like that 8. I'm not keeping Terrell Lewis, even though he's a Bama boy. I'm looking past your depth charts, and none of the Mekhi Baker, DeAnthony Jones, Andrew Brown, Donovan Jeter. I don't care about any of these guys.
Travis Bell. Does Travis Bell make the team?
Travis Bell's on the practice squad at the very least. I think they're pretty excited about that kid.
Well,
he might wow in training camp, but then again, I don't know who he pushes unless they cut Justin Jones. I mean, I don't think that's a thing.
No, I don't think so.
Dude, man, honestly, anything's a thing with this D line. It was so bad.
I feel like Justin Jones is like one of those guys that just sticks around because they really like him.
I don't dislike Justin Jones. I sincerely liked him in San Diego. I like him I liked him last year. Apparently, I didn't pay close enough attention to see all of the poor play habits he had last year. Probably just because it was giant disaster every time we didn't have the ball. So I might have just ignored a lot of things. So I think, yeah, Luke, Rasheem Green. So if let's say they do sign, actually, I think they sign somebody and keep 9. I don't have any issue with that. Same thing with the O-line. I think they probably keep 9.
All right, so we're starting to play numbers here. You went with 4 running backs and 5 running backs with a fullback. Now you're at 9 defensive linemen.
Oh, I think we ended up at 23 offensive players, maybe 24.
Okay,
and that was with that full running back room, 3 tight ends, 7 wide receivers. Like we kept so many people, and still only had like 23 or 24, which was weird. So, but like this could all change. Like with the cornerbacks, I think cornerback is a room that could end up being really big just because you don't really know what we have. Anyway, we'll get into that in the cornerback talk. But so if they signed Ngakoue, I would be fine with them keeping 9.
So basically all the guys I just named plus Ngakoue.
Yep.
Which makes sense. I mean, you want a nice rotation. Like you said, you could probably put Travis Bell on the practice squad. They drafted him. They're probably not going to want to outright cut him and not have him make the team in some capacity unless he's picked up. But 9 guys gives you a nice rotation, especially because you don't really have any studs on there, so you're going to need to keep fresh legs all the time. I mean, it's going to be interesting. I mean, the interior of this line with Andrew Billings, Gervon Dexter, Zach Pickens, you're kind of putting a lot of stock in them 3 guys to be pretty solid for you right away. I'm really curious to see how they're going to split this playing time up. I think Dexter might have a chance to be starting immediately, playing immediately, but I don't know about Pickens.
Yeah, I agree there. I think Pickens is probably rotational, or the other thing is going to be like Walker might slide inside on pass rushing downs. So, Pickens or Dexter might not even see the field for pass rushing downs. I mean, they'll probably get some snaps, but I know Walker did a lot of good things at 3 Tech in Tennessee when he had a chance.
Yeah, I'm really not trying to get sucked into the hype like I did last year for whatever the name that guy was that was horrible that I thought would be way better from the Colts. Muhammad.
God.
So, I mean, in a similar vein, do we think DeMarcus Walker is going to be better than that?
Can't be any worse.
All right, well, I guess my question is, do you think he'll be another signing like that we think will be better than he actually is, or do you think he'll actually be all right?
What are we calling good? Like, what's the –
I don't know. Like, if he can get, 6 sacks or something, 5 or 6 sacks. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, that's kind of what I'm expecting from him. But, again, I kind of had that same expectation for Muhammad, and he was just horrible.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
And it's also tough when you lose Jeffrey Simmons.
We shouldn't curb our expectations just because we change players, Could be completely different. There's a parallel universe right now where Muhammad is just a beast, and he's just like 15 sacks a year. I mean, it's just a fact.
Sorry, I was adjusted the AC. You're talking about DeMarcus Walker trying to set a sack limit for him?
Yeah, I'm just saying,
the tipping point of good. I
think 6 is. I agree with what Chris just said. Yeah, you don't want to, even though you change players, change the expectations. I'm gonna want. I mean, you signed DeMarcus Walker to not a huge deal, but a decent money. Let's go get out and get 6, 7, 8 sacks.
They paid him on day 2 like $9 million. What did they pay him? Like $9 million or something like that.
I got you right here. They paid him 23 years, $21 million. So divided by 3 is what? That's $7 million a year.
Yeah,
Bama math is good. All across the country.
Wait, what did you say?
I said Bama math is good.
No. How much is he getting over 3 years?
7 a year. Oh, 21.
21?
Yeah.
I mean, that's – if you think about the guys that are still available now, like Ngakoue and them kind of guys, and DeMarcus Walker's getting this kind of money, I mean, they got to really believe in him. That's lofty, $7 million a year.
He's also a lot younger, though, right? Like, isn't he only like 26? Where Ngakoue is probably
He's 28.
Ngakoue's
He's
28.
28. Okay.
DeMarcus Walker's 28. He's been playing since he's been in the league since 2017. Holy smokes, he was on that Florida State national championship team. I had no idea.
Florida State has won a national championship in the last 6 years. Holy shit!
Well, in 2013, their team was freaking amazing.
Oh, okay.
Was that EJ Manuel?
No, Jameis Winston. Jameis
that's
Winston,
right.
Jalen Ramsey, Dalvin Cook, that crew.
Oh yeah. That was 10 years ago. Holy shit!
Wow. Joe, was EJ Manuel before that or after that?
Before.
He was before.
Yeah, he was. Man, I remember that draft class.
They were all.
I remember where I was and like him getting drafted like 15th overall by the Bills. Whew.
Yeah, Manuel was the quarterback right before Winston took over.
So bad.
Isn't that Geno Smith might have been drafted in that class too, or something like that?
He was Ohio State though, right?
West Virginia.
Yeah, West Virginia.
West Virginia? Jesus Christ.
Country.
I should probably watch more college football.
No, you got the pros for us. I'll bring you whatever I got for you. So I'm going up to SEC Media Days next week to cover Alabama, and I'm really going to try to get a little one-on-one time with JaQuincy McKinstry, Kool-Aid, and with J.C. Latham, and with Dallas Turner, the three guys, because I think the Bears could get any one of those three guys with that Panthers pick. Edge rusher, big-time tackle, or a big-time corner.
I'm just thinking that I hate doing this, but next year's draft class is so freaking ridiculous. I could rattle off 10 offensive players who would be incredible upgrades right now, and that's even without naming those guys you just talked about, Joe. I don't even want to get ahead of
It's July of the season before the season you're even talking about.
Well, before
You are like
we can't get ahead of ourselves.
Full year, you're more than a year. Come on, let's not talk about that.
Chris, that's what we've conditioned ourselves as Bears fans. We get our hopes up. We have the draft. We get the offseason going.
I mean, you can start scouting for the Packers because they're going to be those ones doing that kind of.
So let's talk about what Mooney said. Mooney, I know we're kind of playing with the offense and defensive line, but this feels like the right place. Mooney says, "Get ready, Bears. We're going to be winners." And I'm starting to see a lot of 4-1 predictions, and I know that's kind of how I'm feeling. But Super Homer, orange and blue glasses over here. Are we starting to get full verse? I mean, look, week 1, it's bleeping Green Bay. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, guys. I know that's supposed to suck, but we got to take it. Chris, are we going to be winners this year?
Close. We'll be 10-7 or 9-8 maybe.
It would be nice to get off to a hot start.
I agree. Like if they come out hot against dude, oh my god, just closed that 2018 game out. That would have been so good.
I cannot get excited. I cannot get myself excited.
I just want to go back and watch that first half over and over and over again and just watch.
Dude,
it was so good. Oh,
it was so good.
That's what's got me terrified, because I think we should be beating the Green Bay Packers week number 1, and then the following year you still feel like you're going to beat them, and then you lose 10-7, 10-3 at home. that fucking disgusting game, holding all over on Khalil Mack. Just couldn't get anything going. But I can't get excited. I can't get excited.
This is so. To your point, Joe, this is the kind of Bears fan I've become. I am terrified for Fields to fall on his face. Terrified. Just because we've been conditioned for that to happen, right? It's not because I don't believe in him. It's not because I don't think he's a great athlete or a great quarterback. I do. We've made excuses for every single fucking player that's come through here, right? Oh, he just didn't have weapons. He didn't have an offensive line. Matt Nagy's a jackass, blah, blah, blah.
Jay Cutler, 7 offensive coordinators in 8 years.
Yeah, but Jay was awesome.
I love you, Jay.
Have you guys seen the show Shameless? All right, Lucas. So one of the little kids has a "Fuck Jay Cutler" shirt, and I just laughed my ass off at that. All right. So Darnell Mooney, we're getting a lot of bullish comments. Like Like that in, Fields working out with Mooney and Moore and who else was there?
Not Chase Claypool.
Not Chase Claypool. But like at the same
Bastard
time,
was walking a runway.
He's walking a runway. He also has a bunch of soft tissue injuries. Do we want him out there fucking running routes on a high school football field just to make us all feel warm and fuzzy that he's, or do we want him rehabbing and getting a soft tissue injury, which is recurring over and over and over again, healed up for once? Go play model in the offseason. Get ripped. I don't care. Like, just be there come August. I don't even care if he's ready for minicamp.
Got to incorporate some water in your diet, man, for those soft tissue injuries.
Darnell Mooney says he is going to be ready for training camp. If you want to take him for his word for it.
Mooney is, or Mooney says Claypool will be?
No, Mooney said he will be ready for camp.
Well, I want to hear what he thinks about Claypool. Or is that breaking news?
Just get ready to win, Bears fans.
All right, let's flip it to the offensive line. We just did a little.
No, we're not done with our defensive line.
I'm sorry.
Let's talk about DeMarcus Walker. You just hijacked our conversation, Joe.
Yeah, you are all over the place, Joe. So much disorganization from this host with the most.
Rasheem Green, I have no idea what he brings to the table. None at all. I know he's like just a guy on the Texans. Joe, what do you know about him?
Oh, Mr. Rasheem Green, the interwebs tells us he played at Southern Cal. What, he's been with the Texans 1 year, third-round draft pick. What do I have here on it?
He was only with them for 1 year?
1 year. He's with the Seahawks from 18 to 21. Originally drafted by the Seattle Seahawks. What you been doing with your life, Rasheem Green?
Playing with some good D coordinators, apparently.
Yeah, you got 17 career sacks. You only had 3.5 last year.
17 career sacks in 5 years is not awful.
He's another guy that can move inside and outside, though. They seem to be adding this versatility type person to both sides of the line.
Yep. So they have those two. Justin Jones, who can also do that. Billings is probably exclusively a nose, and Pickens is probably exclusively a 3 or 5. But yeah, that's 3 or 4 guys right there, Chris, that have that versatility. So honestly, I have no clue what the Bears plan, like how they're going to utilize these guys. I think that's going to be something to watch in training camp. Who's getting snaps where, who's exclusively playing on certain downs. How are we feeling about the Dominique Robinson, Trevis Gibson side of the line? Do we think either of those guys is in line for a breakout or, kind of working their way off the team after this year? What happened to Trevis Gibson last year?
I don't know. I mean, people figured him out probably. I mean, they didn't have to worry about Khalil Mack anymore.
Shit, man. I just didn't think – I thought he at least had – I thought he had a little bit – like he had me excited that he had some potential. Last year I just –
It's like another Mark Anderson, dude. 12-sack rookie season and then fucking fall off the table. Or go to Baltimore and just rip it up. Wherever else he went, he did okay.
I forgot about him.
2 of his 3 sacks last year coming on the September 18th game against the Green Bay Packers. So literally just almost all of his production in that one game. I guess if you're only going to produce in one game, that's the game to do it in. But he did play, and he made 10 starts last year. I think Chris nailed it, not having anything on the other side of the line to distract or attract protection.
Yeah, I do think I still don't think, even if the Bears sign someone, I honestly don't think their pass rush is going to be very good still. I am kind of excited about the additions they made to at least just try and stop the run. I mean, you have 2 monsters, Billings and Gervon Dexter, who if they give you one thing, I just really hope they stop the damn run. And with these linebackers, don't kill us with the run like it happened. Like last year, it was just like, it was so painful to watch Justin Jones getting plowed into the linebackers. And oh my God, you just knew that you were giving up 5 yards against any running back you played.
Yeah, that was the That was the DFS lineup towards the end of the year, right, Lucas? Whatever running back is playing the Bears,
Just
and
fucking plug them in, man. So, I mean, we'll get into the linebackers next week, but do you guys kind of agree that at the very least we want these guys to be able to be proficient against the run, if not, anything else?
100%.
Yeah, and this is the worst unit on the team right now. And so that's the one. I mean, if you're only going to give us one thing, please just stand up against the run. Stand up against the run. Hold up the blocks. Let the linebackers, make some tackles. If you don't have any pass rush, you don't have any pass rush. But please do not, because you just cannot go into a game giving up 4 yards a pop, 7 yards a pop every single time, getting gashed. Because look, the offensive coordinator just gets to do whatever the heck he wants to do at that point.
All right, so I got one more thing before we go to the offensive line, unless you have anything else. I know you guys like my prop bets, so I have another one for you. Will the Bears' leader in sacks be a defensive lineman / edge rusher or another position?
So I got Miss Abby in my lap. Can you repeat the question while Chris thinks about it?
Will the Bears' top sack leader be a defensive lineman / edge rusher, or will it be another position?
I'll go other position. I think
Brisker.
Brisker's an option, but I think that I think that even TJ Edwards is an option. I think I'm gonna go either
Tyler Gordon. That would be crazy.
Ooh, coming off the slot.
I do think he's going to be fun in the slot there. He is fun to watch against the run and how aggressive he is. That'd be cool if they used him more as a blitzer. What do you think, Chris?
Yes, it will be a defensive lineman edge rusher.
All right. Do you think it'll be the person that we sign in 2 days before training camp?
Yes, probably. If not, it's probably going to be Walker.
Yeah, I was going to say I'll take Walker. Pending who they sign, I'll take Walker today as leading the team in sacks, and I'll give him 6.
Gross. That sucks. Good God. Can we get Richard Dent out of retirement?
Richard Dent?
Yep.
Yeah, let me call him up.
Cool.
Yeah, Richard Dent can give you 1 sack?
Probably. Maybe 2.
You just start contracting all the old Bears legends. 1 sack is all I need from you. Go out there and get it.
2 of them are dead or damn near. So that ain't happening. Offensive linemen. Lucas, are the starting 5 already determined?
Yes. Yeah. I'm looking at it now. I don't see – I think Braxton Jones is a lock. I don't think Larry Bourne's really going to push him. Kevin's a lock as long as he's healthy. Whitehair is interesting. I mean, he's pretty close to a lock for me, but I do know they like Lucas Patrick, so I could potentially see maybe something happening there, but I have faith that Whitehair is going to have a solid year at center this year. And then Nate Davis and Darnell Wright, I think he can plug in there as well. So I think center out of all of them is the biggest question mark, and even then I'm fairly confident Cody Whitehair will win the job.
What's the ceiling? What's the floor for these guys, Krogman? We're gonna see a lot better unit this year, right?
100%. Yeah, absolutely.
So
way better unit.
Floor. Where do you have the floor at? The bottom basement that these guys could suck at.
25th in the league.
I was gonna say 22nd, but yeah, that's probably fair. 25th, but man,
see
as
the
long
ceiling
as they
though,
stay healthy and have continuity. Yeah, ceiling though is 14 maybe.
Yeah, I was going to say 12 or 13. So a pretty big disparity there, Joe. The truth probably lies somewhere in between is normally what they say. So probably somewhere in between there is what we'll expect.
18 to 20.
League average. League average
5.
is what we're shooting for. Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be sick. Yeah, I mean, really, as excited as I am to see Darnell Wright out there for the Bears, I do not think he's going to be – I think he'll take a little bit of time to kind of get used to the NFL speed. There might be some bumps in the road, but I would say I'm going to probably be more closely watching Braxton Jones because I think, I do think his ass is on the hot seat this year. Not that, he is what he is, but he has to get better or else he could definitely be replaced next year.
I mean, him as a swing tackle is so much more
perfect
than starting left. But, I mean, hopefully he, takes what he's been given as far as coaching and tips and things like that from people. And, I mean, he flat out knows his inefficiencies and his deficiencies and his shortcomings and all the things that make him not as good as we want him to be. So hopefully he works on those things and can improve. Who was your guy, Lucas, that said his problems are unfixable, more or less?
Oh, Brennan Thorne.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brennan Thorne said that.
That's okay. What do you think about, to your point, Lucas, you talk about maybe you talk about maybe Darnell Wright, Darnell Wright maybe struggling. What do you think about Nate Davis helping him out? Signing a veteran, and then he's basically Nate Davis right then, and then Cody Whitehair, the most experienced man, basically to kind of bring him along right there.
Yeah, I think it's going to be big time, especially for I think even having just continuity with Tevin Jenkins and Braxton Jones on the one side of the line is going to help a lot. But Nate Davis next to the rookie is perfect. Either having Whitehair near him or Nate Davis, a guy who's been around the league a little bit, knows the offense. It should help him a lot. And I am kind of excited for this offensive line with some of the veteran leadership they have on there this year. It's going to be fun to watch. And just naming these guys, Joe, as we're talking about, I'm getting excited thinking about how well the Bears are going to run the damn ball down the throat. Like this actually could be a top 5 run blocking line. Like they say what you want about Braxton Jones, but that dude in the open field is ridiculous. Kevin.
Because I think that you brought in, Tevin Jenkins finally found, you have the all offseason. You remember last year, everybody was, is he going to play? Back issue? Are they going to trade him? Well, you've got a whole offseason of, I'm playing guard now. I've fit into this role, and I'm playing guard, and I actually had a fairly, good showing, decent showing for a guy who's barely done it in the league. I think the meanness that Luke, you and I have talked about over the course of years that we've wanted to see, the attitude. I think you pair that with Getsy calling a good downhill scheme. I'm excited. That's why I go back to early in the podcast. Are we going to be winners? Because this offense, well, you guys go. If the offensive line produces at top 15, 16, 20, and then you have nice production out of the receivers, you're running downhill, and Getsy knows, Getsy is operating a good scheme. I'm not saying the offense is perfect. I'm not saying they're unstoppable, but I see an offense that's very competent and can attack defenses in a lot of different ways.
But this goes right back to Chris's fear. Just being scared that Fields going to suck. Like this is it. There's no excuse this year for him. Regardless of even if the line is a little worse than we think or whatever. There's plenty around him for him to kind of step up and lead this offense. So, right, Chris? Is this the ultimate fear this year?
Freaking better be, dude. Because then we're going to head into next year if he's not the guy. Or I don't know what's worse. Like, that we figure out he's not the guy and have to spend one of those 2 picks or both of them to move up and get one of the quarterbacks. Or he gives us oh man, he's almost there season, and then we're fucking stuck with him another.
Daniel Jones.
Yeah. Yep.
I'd rather have the almost there than no, because I don't want to play the game in the offseason. Drake May or Caleb Williams. Do you trade up? I do not want to play that game because
you don't want to know now, though.
If he's almost there, okay. If he's quote almost there. Do you not come back with him and say, all right, we're good? We're because if he's almost there, you probably won 8 games. You probably won between 7 and 9 games, 7 and 10 games. The offense has had spurts of competency. maybe you realize, okay, maybe you analyze and say the defense let you down a couple spots. I don't know. Maybe there's a bad turnover here or there. If he's almost there, isn't that right where we are as a team, anyways?
Yes, but we'd like him to be further along so we know for sure.
Of course. We want him to be like MVP, playing like Jalen Hurts.
I'll say if the Bears win 7 or 8 games.
Next year is year 4, right?
Yes.
So then you got a decision to make. He's got to be good enough to make year 5, no doubt.
Yes, you have to know. We'll go at the end of the year. We're picking up the 5th-year option. It's done.
This is his 3rd year. So
right at the end of this year, right?
Yeah.
You will go into the 4th year, and they will have already. If he's already done 3 good years, this is the end of this year.
Okay.
In the offseason, the Bears will pick up that 5th-year option because you want to go ahead and bank him on 2 years, right? You want to bank him on 2 years. You pick up the 5th-year option. You control him for 2 more seasons, and that way you have 2 years to work out that long-term extension. But if he's not good this year, you don't pick up that 5th-year option. And questions play into, but yeah, the 5th-year option is getting picked up at the end of the year or not. Like that's really what he's, and of course he may not make it to the 5th year of the rookie contract, but it'll at least let you control him while you negotiate those terms out, and then possibly play the franchise tag. That's your 3rd year under control. But yeah, the year is huge. You got to be good enough to know we're picking up the 5th-year option and we're investing in you at least to negotiate further down the road.
I think it's got to be obvious. I don't think you can. There's definitely a line between almost there, not there.
Yeah,
picking up that option.
Yeah,
I would say
I probably phrased that wrong, but Lucas, yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. Like,
yeah.
You gotta know. I mean, it's got to be a pretty clear path forward. Like, if it's still pretty murky at the end of the year, I don't know if you don't cut bait. Like, you're just going to pass on a chance for, like, what if May or Williams is generational and you fucking let Fields be mid for another 2 seasons?
There's always another quarterback coming down the pipe.
You can keep saying that this quarterback class is ridiculous. I don't care what anyone says.
It is, but wouldn't you rather be letting the bottom end of the league be debating if they should take Caleb Williams or Drake May, and we can scoop up a premier Marvin Harrison Jr. instead because they're all debating on quarterback bullshit?
Absolutely.
Dude, like, basically it comes down to this. Like, the offensive line stays healthy and Mooney and Moore only. Like, Claypool and all the rest of the bullshit can be super mid as fuck. It doesn't matter because you're going to have Moore, Mooney, and Kmet. That's enough. If he's going to have time to throw, we assume he needs to make better decisions quickly, not run himself into stupid shit, and look like an NFL quarterback, not like a running back playing quarterback, which I don't make those claims, but the people that do make sense.
Chris, going over the last 2 years, going into this year, where are you seeing? And again, this goes into my glass half full, rosy-colored glasses. Luke will tell you I believed in Mitchell until the day he died. Basically,
he died.
He may as well have. I basically believed in him until it was the Chiefs game that you went to, Luke, right? That I was still holding out hope. I'm still holding out hope. I think he airballed somebody.
Robinson.
Robinson. I was like, fuck it. I'm done. I have no more. So that being said, admittedly, I have a longer leash. I have a fuller. Okay, they're going to get it. They're going to get it. They're gaining traction. How close are you to being out of patience with Justin Fields? You sound a little closer than I am.
Probably closer than you are, but only because I'm 44 years old and I want to see this happen a lot sooner. Okay, but did y'all know last Wednesday was my birthday?
Yeah, I text you. You text me back.
Okay, that's right. It's been so long since I talked to you. Like, when Lucas said podcast tonight, I was like, oh yeah. That's a thing. Look, it all rides on a quarterback. So without a quarterback, then that means there's a whole fucking regime change again. And it just kicks the can down the field. Now we're looking at another probably 5 years of kicking the can down the field unless like one of these, like unless there's a quarterback in next year's class that is somebody that Poles is in love with, I mean, I don't know, dude. I'm just playing skeptic at this point. I do think Fields has a good chance to be very good this year outside of just running the ball. And you add in that threat and being able to throw the ball, it could be fucking ridiculous, dude. Like absolutely ridiculous. Like best quarterback in the game, ridiculous if he can just be pretty good throwing the ball and Getsy knows how to use him to manipulate the defense with his arm and legs.
It is crazy. Like we can say what we want about Mitch and all that, but like never in my wildest dreams did I think that was in like a realm of possibility, like what Chris is saying. But with like Fields, it's entirely possible just because the athletic profile is ridiculous. And that's with really poor passing. He was, among the, I don't know, whatever you measure it, EPA or whatever, like, he put points on the board, and the Bears are one of the best offenses in the league last year with that garbage unit they trotted out for like a month. It's just ridiculous. So like the range of outcomes, like you said, could be anywhere from a horrible offense to top quarterback in the NFL. Like we don't know. And this year is going to be fun. I think we all believe, he'll be closer to the top than the bottom. So,
well, that's what just got me so excited about DJ Moore is like the difference maker of a real wide receiver one. Last year, you were watching Mooney. Oh, we love you. Good. You're working hard. Nobody was getting open. Nobody was just prolifically, consistently getting open. So I'm excited for what that would really mean for us, how that can really open up the offense.
Right. So we got a little off topic here again, but I'm going to rattle off my 9 linemen if we're going with 9.
Okay.
We know the starting 5: Braxton Jones, Tevin Jenkins, Cody Whitehair, Nate Davis, Darnell Wright. I think the Bears will keep Alex Leatherwood, Jatir Carter, Lucas Patrick, and Larry Borum. I think make the roster, and I'll put Doug Kramer in there as well as my 10 linemen. I'm keeping 10.
Can we sneak Kramer onto the practice squad for a second year? I know he's hurt.
He wasn't even on the practice squad last year.
Right. Torn ACL in preseason.
I guess.
I think they had some kind of injury protection on him. I don't know. Because he's a draft pick. There might be some – I don't know.
Dude, Dieter Iceland has been on this team for forever.
That's a guy that's been stashed on the practice squad.
Dude, he's only been around since 2020, but man, it feels like he's been here since like 2010. I mean,
I will say in training camp and in preseason, I'm excited to see Jatir Carter. I don't know if his college film. I mean, he went to like a really small college, so college film is kind of like hard to watch. So I'm just kind of excited to see where he's at because like I have no idea how that guy's doing, but it seems like the Bears really like him. So we'll see about him. And I think they like Alex Leatherwood too. So
I don't know how you can like Alex Leatherwood. I really don't.
No, the Bears.
Do you think he'll make the roster?
No,
dude. I honestly, man, that's a probably not.
How did the Bears end up with 2 of my least favorite Alabama players on the roster in Leatherwood and Terrell Lewis? And I mean, neither of them are going to make the team, so like I won't have to deal with them after a while.
Dude,
dude, I think Lewis has a decent shot, honestly. Like, especially if they don't sign somebody, he's probably on the team.
And that's a bad sign. That's not good.
No, it's not. He's an athletic freak.
3 snaps a game.
I get like 8 or 9 sacks a year with him on Madden. He's amazing. Okay? He's great.
Actually?
Looks like Tarzan plays like Jane.
Yeah, but I run crazy blitzes, and he benefits a lot. So,
well, I mean, he does look like Tarzan.
He's fast as fuck, dude. He is super fast. And and when he's unblocked, you just get sacks that way. I mean, that's how it happens.
All right, well, we're going to be rooting for him. But I'm just saying, looking at this depth chart, like, I don't think I don't know, unless they just keep 8 linemen, but I think Leatherwood will make it as depth.
Dude, I think Kellen Deesh has a better chance of making it than fucking Leatherwood.
Kellendish. What about Roy? I can't even say his name. Looks Nigerian.
Baktika.
Yes. Never
No
heard of him.
college. He has no college listed.
Oh, you know what?
International player.
That's
Yeah. I do
yeah.
remember. I do remember the.
Isn't
Bears.
he like fucking massive?
6'9", 331. Is what it said.
That is fairly massive. Yeah.
That's like what was that dude's name on the Eagles? His name was King something.
Yeah.
There was literally a line. King Dunlap. Yeah, dude, he was freaking huge. What a name too. His name was King something. Yeah, I don't know. So you guys think we only keep 8 linemen then? The 5 starters, and then who are your 3 backups they're keeping?
No, I didn't say that. I agree with everybody except for Leatherwood.
So who are you keeping?
So Borum, Patrick, Carter is 3, and then like I said, I think Deesh, and I do think Kramer. So I think Deesh makes it over Leatherwood, dude. That guy sucks, man.
I think Kramer is a mean bastard, and he's going to find a way to prove his value. I mean, he's undersized. He's not going to be.
But the only issue is that the issue with Kramer is that he plays center only, and are they really going to keep a backup who only has one position?
Well, you're keeping
Cody White. Cody White here is 1 year away from not being on this team.
I know. I'm just saying it's a lot of time when they look at depth. It's mostly. I don't think there's very many teams who keep backup center only players.
Well, that's what I think. I think he's probably going to be a practice squatter. It really and truly.
They did not draft a center. They moved up to draft Tyreek Stevenson, and they had a shot at somebody that people wanted.
The guy in the Giants, John Michael Schmitz.
That guy,
John Michael Jingleheimer Schmidt.
His name is your name too. But with Lucas Patrick and
Bears could have had him too.
They both can play guard and center. So I think you've got 3 players that offer you. Kramer is obviously one-dimensional, but you've got 3 players, and Whitehair and Patrick can offer you guard coverage if you need.
Do you think it's possible they sign a veteran lineman?
I hope not. There ain't anybody I'm worried. I think. Is there anybody though out there?
I mean. Normally, when you're bad, you're going to be at the top of the waivers, so they might be picking someone up off waivers who's like a surprise camp cut, maybe.
Ooh, what about DJ Fluker?
Another Bama bum?
Yes, but he actually is really lean. He's lost so much weight.
Yeah, because coming out, he was like 335 or so, right?
He's huge, but he basically turned his body into he lost 40 pounds. Let's see. He lost 40 pounds this offseason, basically reshaping his body. Hasn't played in the NFL since 2020, though.
His body is a wonderland, is what you're saying?
His body is a wonderland. He basically turned himself into big and fat to lean and strong, but he did that 2 years too late.
So now he's lean and fat?
Nah, he's lean. But no, I mean, no offensive linemen out there that would help this team. I'd much rather just keep the depth that you're.
I'm looking right now. I'm gonna find a lineman that will help this team right now.
Oh, do it.
Well, shit, dude, is Jason Peters still out there? He could help this team. Depends on what he's.
Kyle Long.
Dude, he did have some crazy blocks when he was here. For as old as that fucker was.
Can we ask
Taylor
Kyle Long?
Taylor Lewan.
Can you imagine being 39 years old and still playing pretty damn well?
Jawan James. Eric Fisher.
Juwan James?
Are these guys available?
Yeah. There's actually some good names on here.
Something's wrong with Lewan, though. Like, didn't he get like super hurt or something like that? Isn't something seriously wrong with him?
Yeah, his body's breaking down on him. Eric Fisher's still out there. Trey Turner.
I mean, and the fact that he dates Jeffree Star, that was unsettling.
I don't think that was serious.
It looked pretty serious, bro. They look pretty comfy, pretty cozy.
Were they kissing?
Not too far away. Not too far. I don't care what your preferences are. That's your problem. But that dude's a piece of work, man.
Jeffrey Simmons and Jeffree Star?
What woman or whatever they label themselves as. No offense to Jeffrey.
Taylor Lewan just does that podcast now with Will Compton. He might honestly have to retire. He's pretty banged up.
Isn't he? He's pretty funny, isn't he? Like on that podcast.
He is.
He's actually pretty funny, right?
He's a character. But yeah, Joe, there actually are some free agents that aren't too bad of football players available. But I don't know. I don't think they'll sign someone before camp. I think they will have another Alex Leatherwood-like pickup, perhaps.
Joe can't even hear you. He doesn't even have his headphones on.
I can hear you. I heard you. I'm listening. But I just...
He heard you, but he wasn't listening.
Is that what it is?
He's like, I ain't trying to hear that shit.
Well, you're rattling off names, and they're on the trash sheet for a reason. Either are they asking for too much money, or they're over the hill. Eric Fisher.
One man's trash is another man's treasure.
I don't want to be protecting Justin.
One man's trash is another man's Al-Qadim Muhammad.
Oh, see, we need to avoid that at all costs.
One man's trash is another man's Alex Leatherwood.
No, thank you. Please go away somewhere.
One man's trash is another man's Nick Foles.
See, no, even there, no. That was a terrible move for the Bears.
One man's trash is another man's Andy Dalton.
Exactly. Same sorts of bullshit.
One man's trash is another man's Akeem Hicks.
That's different.
Because
when Hicks came to the Bears, he was like still kind of young and unknown.
Oh.
Developmental.
That's what Alex Leatherwood is.
Golly, he's past developing.
All right. I got nothing else.
What's next? What did y'all plan for next week? You already talked about fantasy footballers. This is offensive, defensive line. You said linebackers for next week?
And cornerbacks and DBs. Linebackers and DBs.
How good's the defensive back room going to be with Kyler Gordon, Jalen Johnson, and Tyreek Stevenson? I'm certain.
Roller coaster.
Yeah. Going to be good and bad. Going to be some good and bad.
I'll say they're going to be exciting to watch, but it's going to be a roller coaster. It's going to be ugly just as much as it'll be pretty.
Well, fair. Is it a good time to be a Bears fan? Yes, maybe.
It's a pretty good time to be a Bears fan. I'm excited for this season. Last season, I was optimistic, but I really didn't have any hopes for this team. This year, I have a little bit of hope for this team to be a fringe playoff team.
It's a good time to be a Bears fan, Chris. We're going to be winners. Darnell Mooney said so.
Absolutely. It's a good time to be a Bears fan.
Anything else you got for us, Krugman? Any fatherly wisdom you want to leave the people with?
No.
All right, here we go. Bear down, Chicago Bears. Make every play clear the way to victory. Bear down, Chicago Bears. Put up a fight with the might so fearlessly. We'll never forget the way you thrilled the nation with your T formation. Bear down, Chicago Bears, and let them know why you're wearing the crown. You're the pride and joy of Illinois, Chicago Bears. Bear down.